A very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome back to the 5th class of the online session 2020-2021. Yesterday, we had covered the topic thunderstorm and some parts of cyclone, isn't it? So today, let us just have a quick recapitulation of cyclones. We had done what is a cyclone. Cyclones are huge revolving storms, isn't it? Associated or accompanied with heavy rainfall and very high speed winds which blows at a rate of 150 km per hour to 250 km per hour can be the range of the cyclonic winds. Okay. Apart from that, the center of the cyclone is a region which has low pressure, which is known as the eye of the cyclone. Okay, so what are the conditions, what are the factors which enhances the formation of cyclone? Wind speed, wind rotation, rotation of the earth, temperature, humidity, all this wind direction, wind speed, wind direction, rotation of the earth, temperature and wind direction and humidity. These 5 factors, they actually enhance the formation of cyclones. And what happens, how is a cyclone formed? Yesterday I had explained all these things even with the help of a diagram. Okay, so I hope by now these points are clear to all of you. Today I am going to do the rest of the portion, the rest of the topics related to cyclones. So these are the topics that I am going to cover today. First is destruction caused by cyclones. Second is effective safety measures by the government. Action on the part of people before a cyclone hits their area. Precautions to be taken after the cyclone hits an area, and advanced technology has helped in protection against cyclones. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss today. Alright, the very first one is destruction caused by cyclones. As we all are very much aware of the fact that cyclones are, associated, they are accompanied by very high speed winds which are very dangerous. Cyclonic winds are very dangerous. They can uproot trees, they can cause lots of destruction to life as well as to properties. Isn't it? Properties like, damaging buildings and all these things, to irrigation, agriculture, all these things are very much, affected because of cyclones. Okay, not only that, cyclones, even if they are hundred of meters away somewhere in the sea, okay, they come towards the shore. The sea water comes towards the shore. As a result, it floods the coastal areas also. Okay, so cyclones are very dangerous. Apart from that, there is torrential rainfall also which is accompanied during a cyclone. Alright, so what are the destructions which usually happens during a cyclone? During a cyclone, they can cause great damage to, buildings. Not only that, to agriculture, the trees can get toppled, then electric lines, electric poles, telecommunication, all kinds of communication systems and all gets disrupted. Okay. Apart from that, it causes floods in the coastal areas, okay, because of which all the roads, the railway tracks, they all get damaged. So there is, less amount of drinking water also, because the flood water, the sea water gets contaminated with the drinking water also because of the flood. Got it? So there are so much of destructions which can take place because of cyclones. Cyclones are not very, not very easy things. They are very, very destructive. Okay. So people living in the coastal areas are very much vulnerable to, cyclones. So those areas are very dangerous. In fact, the whole coastline of India is vulnerable to cyclones. Remember, whole coastline of India. Coastline means the length of the coast. The length of the coast is known as coastline. Coastal areas are those areas which are located closer to the sea. So we call them coastal areas. So the whole of coast of India is vulnerable to cyclones. But comparatively, the east coast is much more vulnerable to cyclone than the west coast. And we all know as the cyclonic wind approaches the land, slowly its effect starts decreasing because of friction with land, shortage of moisture, and amount of heat also becomes less. Got it? So as it approaches the land, the speed of the wind also reduces. A cyclone mainly originates in the sea and then it spreads towards the land. So these are the various effects. So east coast of India is more vulnerable to cyclones than the west coast of India. Okay, apart from that, you know, the electricity supply lines. Recently we had Amphan in West Bengal, in Kolkata. It was affected. Kolkata was affected so much that, you know, people since, you know, 4 to 5 days they were without electricity, without drinking water, shortage of water, and all these things were there. Even their network problem in their mobile phones, all these problems they had to face. So without electricity they had to stay because electric poles and all had got disrupted. Electric poles had got toppled, trees were damaged, trees had got toppled, buildings were shattered, all these things had taken place. So cyclones are really very destructive in nature. Got it? Next is effective safety measures by the government. What role a government should take part, what role it has. Especially the coastal areas are vulnerable to cyclones, we know. So government should be very much prepared. They should be very much prepared that whenever they get a warning or anything, whenever they come to know that a cyclone is approaching, they should immediately send it, you know, send the message via newspaper, radio, television, whatever means of communication are there. They should immediately send it to people, make them aware. Okay, they should keep shelter places ready for people so that, you know, people living in the coastal areas can easily evacuate and move to those shelter places which will not be affected by the cyclonic winds, which can withstand the high amount of, you know, cyclonic winds, and even where the flood waters cannot enter. So they should keep those shelter homes ready for people so that they can evacuate, they can carry their belongings, their domestic animals and whatever they have, and they can move to these safer places provided by the government. Okay, they should keep, you know, special these emergency vehicles and all, ambulances and all these things should be kept ready. First aid should be kept ready, and they should provide, you know, as much of help they can to those people which are very much, you know, living in the coastal areas and all, especially fishermen, all these things, these people, they should be made very much aware. So government can do these, they can take that initiative. Okay, next is action on the part of people before a cyclone hits their area. So once they come to know that a cyclone is about to hit the area, it has not yet, you know, hit that area. So what they can do before it hits the area? They should be ready to evacuate. They should not, you know, they should not take these things very casually. Once they get some kind of warning from the meteorological departments, they should immediately be in a state of preparedness to evacuate whenever they are asked to do so. They should keep their belongings, their domestic things, their domestic animals and everything ready. If they have to move to some safer places, they should be ready with that. They should keep, you know, ample amount of food with them. Then, you know, emergency numbers, telephone numbers, ambulance, police, those government helps and all these numbers should be kept ready before a cyclone hits their areas. Okay, even drinking water, because once the cyclone hits the area, it becomes flooded and sea water and drinking water becomes contaminated. Okay, and we know sea water is salty, so it is not possible for people to drink the sea water. As a result, that salty water, as a result, you know, these things are certain emergency things. They should be very careful about all these things, and they should take this thing very seriously. They should be in a state of preparedness and be very, you know, careful about the warnings being issued by the meteorological departments. Next, action on the part of people before a cyclone hits the area. We have done precautions to be taken after the cyclone hits an area. Once the cyclone has already hit that area, what kind of measures people should take? So once people, they have already evacuated from those areas, they should not move to those flooded areas, or they should not move to, you know, those homes which are already damaged. They should not come out, even if they are in their houses, they should not come out of their houses, because you know the railway tracks and roads might have got damaged by these flood waters. Drinking water and all, they should be very careful. They should drink only those waters which are stored, okay, otherwise people suffer from lots of diseases and all, because the water, drinking water gets contaminated and they suffer from lots of waterborne disease like dysentery, cholera, all these kind of problems, and many people die also because of those waterborne disease. It becomes very serious, so they should be very much aware of that. Okay, so after the cyclone hits an area, they should not come out, they should not just come out of their house just for the sake of fun. Okay, they should be very careful. Advanced technology has helped in protection. Nowadays, it has become very easy for people, because people, they usually get warnings 48 hours in advance. There are satellites and there are radars which are set across the coastal areas, and the meteorological departments, they get a forecast. The weather forecasting department, they forecast the weather and they tell 48 hours in advance that whether the cyclone is how far and how much it is going to affect them. What they should do, they should evacuate from those areas and move to safer places. So technology has become so advanced that it becomes very easy for them nowadays, and 24 hours in advance they get an alert, okay, that they should move away, all these things. But previously such kind of communications were not so good, so you know, destruction was much more, loss of life was much more. Now at least people can move to safer places, they get time to move, but previously it was very difficult. So technology has advanced so much that people get lots of time to evacuate, at least 2 days in advance. 48 hours means 2 days in advance. Got it? So these are certain things, certain topics which are related to cyclones. It's a big topic, and please go through this topic. Alright, I hope there is no problem. What is a cyclone? What are the factors on which cyclone depends? Then you have how is a cyclone formed? What are the different names by which a cyclone is known in different parts of the world? Then you have the destructions caused by cyclone. What measures should be taken by the government? Then before a cyclone hits an area, what action should be taken by people? After the cyclone has hit the area, what action people should take, and how technology, advanced technology, has helped people in, you know, rescuing themselves, saving themselves from these kind of natural disasters like cyclones, which are very destructive. Okay, so moving on with the next part of the chapter, the topic is tornado. Okay, so tornado, this topic tornado, what is a tornado exactly? Okay, a tornado is a violent storm of rapidly rotating winds, and these winds take the form of a shape of a funnel, you know, rapidly rotating winds which rotates in the shape of a funnel, and it starts from the sky and extends downwards towards the ground. And this, you know, tornado, the wind speed is so high, it can be around 300 km/h. So what is a tornado? A tornado is a violent storm with a column of rapidly rotating winds having the appearance of a dark funnel-shaped clouds which starts from the sky and extends downwards. Okay, so it takes the shape of a funnel, and these winds are constantly rapidly rotating at a speed of around 300 km/h. Now what leads to the formation, or how is a how is a tornado formed? Tornado is actually formed when loud thunder clouds, they gather in the sky, and one particular region of the thunder cloud becomes very dark and dense. Okay, and the winds over there are constantly and rapidly rotating, and they come down from the sky to the ground. So the structure is somewhat like this. If this is the, you know, the sky, and the thunder clouds, the tornado takes the shape like this, and the winds are constantly rotating. Okay, and this is the ground. Whichever way this tornado crosses, it sucks up everything that comes on its way. It can be houses, it can be animals, it can be trees, even human beings. It sucks up everything, because this particular region is an area of low pressure, and everything that comes on its way, everything, it usually tries to, wind tries to blow from a region of high pressure to a region of low pressure. So it sucks up everything that comes on its way. So tornado is very dangerous. But in India, we don't we don't face any tornadoes and all. Probably the climatic conditions is not such which can enable the formation of a tornado. But in Discovery channels and all, you can see how a tornado sucks up everything that comes on its way. Okay. Now the next topic of tornado is what kind of destructions a tornado can cause. As I told you, whichever way the tornado crosses, it sucks up everything that comes on its way. It can be houses, it can be animals, it uproots the trees and hurls them some 100 meters away. It will pull them apart and throw them somewhere very far. Okay, so electric poles, lines and all, everything will get disrupted. Houses and all, everything will be blown away. Even cars and vehicles will be hurled up to some other places. They will be thrown to some other places. So tornadoes are very destructive in whichever way it passes through. Next topic is what preventive measures we can take when a tornado strikes. Best places are the basement of houses. If there is a room present at the basement of the houses, that is the best place. If no rooms are available at the basement, a person can get inside a room without any windows, and if there is any door and window, they can shut the doors and the windows and keep themselves safe under a sturdy table. They can bend down on their knees, okay, and they can put their head down, and that is how they can somewhat prevent them. But the best place is the basement of houses. And if somebody is in a car or of any kind of vehicle, they should immediately come out of it, because as I told you that cars and buses are also not safe, because the tornado can lift all these things and throw them some 100 meters away. So these are not at all safe. Okay, so these are certain topics related to tornado. So we have covered up all the topics of the chapter. Go through the chapter. Okay, the book that is given to you is quite informative. Read the chapter thoroughly and solve your worksheets. And in the next class, I'll be discussing the worksheets with you all. So you all check, see whether the answers you have written, those are matching with the discussions or not. Thank you and have a good day.